Yo, what's up? It's been a while since I did one of these loggy things, but I think that today is probably as good a day as any to go ahead and do one more, because today is the 1 year anniversary since I started actually posting gaming content on this channel. Yeah, okay. December 1st of 21, that was exactly 1 year ago. That is when the old Duke video, back in, that was our not Revengeance, that was our Terraria Calamity expert mode playthrough. In the middle of that playthrough, I decided, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm gonna start posting gaming content because I want some fucking attention, and we're gonna do it. So I did it, and we started with that off with the old Duke video, which was a god-awful fucking video. It's a terrible video. You shouldn't watch it. It's bad. It's terrible quality. My mic didn't even record. It's just horrible. But yeah, that was my entry into this whole business here. Oh. From there, we've been steadily improving over the course of the year. I finished off the expert mode playthrough. Baranox has been there for all of it. He's been my buddy through all of this. Finished off that playthrough with not even the last video of the playthrough, but there were only 5 videos in that series because we were already so close to the end of the playthrough. But the second to last one, the Exomex video, that one blew up. That one really blew up. I mean, it didn't actually really blow up as far as, you know, the actual YouTube, you know, ecosystem or anything. It blew up relative for me. It did, you know, let's see how much it's done now. 13,000 views. That's massive for me. I mean, that's very small for, you know, actual YouTube videos that go viral, but it is, you know, pretty significant, at least from my own perspective. So I don't know what the hell happened there. It must have been because, you know, Exomex were so new, people were searching it up, and then, you know, algorithm was like, oh, yeah, people want to see this, so he promoted it a little bit. So, 13,000 views. And that video was what got me the traction I needed to start actually gaining. It's a small audience here. Not a big audience, but an appreciable audience for someone that has started with nothing. So, which is very nice, and I appreciate that very much. So, not to squander that opportunity, we've been consistently uploading videos for the entirety of a year. Whether that's Terraria, which is my mainstay video content thing, or whatever other game I happened to be playing at the time, which was Generation Zero at the start. Nobody watched that playthrough, which is fine, because it was kind of a test bed for a lot of editing ideas. There was that, or Monster Hunter Rise I did. I'm still doing that one. Broforce we did a little playthrough of. I did some Risk of Rain 2 videos. And I did a really short 2-video thing for V, which is an amazing little game. You should watch that if you haven't. It's adorable. So, consistently following that routine of uploading. Originally it was a video every other day, but I've had to get a job again since then, a real job, you know. It's just YouTube shit isn't a real job or anything, you know, because, you know, it doesn't make any money, so. I'd like it to one day, but it does not currently. So I had to get a real job. So it started out as a video every other day, but now it's more like a video every 3 days, sometimes 4 if it's inconvenient. But a year of, you know, consistently anyway, making and uploading videos of gaming content has gotten me up to 176 subs, and I think I started at like 10 or so, thereabouts. That was just from the few music things that I posted before I started really getting into it. But yeah, 176 in 1 year. That's if you consider how long the human lifespan is, I feel like that's not a lot at all, and I feel like I've got a very long way to go, but I'm very much appreciative of what I have gotten. 176 is still 176 people that liked what I did enough to hit the button, you know, and say, yo, I would like to see a bit more of this. This is cool. You know, and beyond even the subscribers, you know, just the viewers. If you've so much as watched one of these videos, you've supported me, whether, you know, you meant to or not. So, I mean, fuck, 13,000 people. That's 13 fucking thousand people saw my Exomix video. That's kind of wild. So even if you're not looking at subscribers, just the amount of people that have seen my videos is kind of insane. From the perspective of one lonely human here, you see. Kind of wild to think about. So even though I'm very far from my goals, I have a hell of a long way to go. I've gotten a lot done for 1 year, I feel like, still. You know, I just said that 176 was not very much, and in the grander, you know, YouTube ecosystem, it isn't very much. In fact, it's tiny. It's hardly anything. But it is, in fact, still significant for someone who started with a tiny fraction of even that number. 176 is a lot bigger than 10, you know. So, in that regard, we've made some major gains, and I hope we're going to continue to keep making more major gains in exponentially increasing major gains. That is my hope. We've improved a lot since then, really. I mean, even if I'm still a tiny channel, I've still improved a lot, I think, and that's very important. We started... I mean, I started this whole thing with absolutely no fucking idea what I was doing. I just thought, you know, music's not cutting it. It's not consistent enough, you know, and I don't make a popular genre of music. I make kind of weird shit. So, music isn't really gonna carry me. It's just not gonna happen. So I thought, we need to do something else that's gonna get me attention, because I want attention, but god damn it, and I'm gonna have it. We need to do something else that's gonna be more profitable, I suppose. And you know, I'm a gamer, and me and Verinox is my brother, by the way, if you didn't know. Verinox and I have played a lot of games together for as long as, you know, we've been alive. We've always been major gamers. And I thought, well, why don't I just record us playing our video games? Because people do Let's Plays all the time, you know. Why don't I just record us playing our games and post that on YouTube, edit it up a bit, make it a bit more appetizing for, you know, someone who's just sitting there consuming the media. So, you know, cut out the less entertaining bits, you know, try to make it interesting. And just make that, you know, my YouTube content, make it consistent. So I did it, and I started with Movie Maker. Windows Movie Maker. It's fucking awful. Don't use Windows Movie Maker. Please don't. It's bad. But it was free and I had it, so I didn't actually have it. I had to download it, but it was free, so I used it. Because I didn't know what else to use. I didn't know what else there was. But it was enough to get started. And so I got started with the Terraria Expert videos. Calamity Expert videos. There's only 5 of, but I mean, fuck, one of those, which was made in Movie Maker, one of those, the Exomix video, with as shitty as my mic quality was and as shitty as everything was, that video did pretty fucking well relative to what I ever expected or have ever seen otherwise. So I can't complain. And that video still gave me my head start, you know. So, you know, even though I was using Movie Maker, we got right along. We started learning what to do. See, we started Generation Zero, which was apparently it was a 20 video series. We started that series also using Movie Maker and suffering at it. That like I said before, that series was really a test bed for learning how to edit and learning what worked and what didn't work, that kind of thing. I learned a lot from the Generation Zero playthrough, and nobody watches it. Absolutely nobody gives a flying fuck about it, but it was important as a learning experience. And there's some cool stuff in there. I mean, the videos themselves are pretty bad quality, but there's some fun stuff in there. You should check it out if you feel up to it. It's not too bad. Yeah, well, I guess I can't say that entirely, because I'm sure, yeah, we started okay, this is kind of jumping around a bit, but we started the Terraria Revengeance playthrough. The Revengeance was probably my biggest playthrough that's actually been finished so far. We started the Revengeance playthrough in the middle of the Generation Zero playthrough. So those two were going simultaneously as well. And there was, in the middle of that, there was an issue I had where my OBS settings, I was using OBS to record at the time, just regular OBS. My OBS settings got slashed somehow. I don't remember, I don't know how, but my bitrate was super low at one point for some reason. And I had a bunch of videos that were recorded like that. I had to suffer through it. So there's a the raw footage was recorded in such low bitrate that the final quality product was just god-awful. But I suffered through it. I thought, you know what, I'm not just gonna throw out all this shit. I gotta have something, so I'm not just gonna skip through, you know, half the playthrough because the video is bad. I'm gonna make it work, you know. I'm not just gonna waste all that time. So I made it work, but the point is, a few of the videos in the Revengeance playthrough and the Generation Zero playthrough are pretty fucking bad quality. But, you know, there still is some fun stuff in there, so you should check it out, if you feel like it. Okay, yeah, moving on from Generation Zero, we were right in the middle of the Revengeance playthrough, I think, Calamity Revengeance. Yeah, and in the middle of the Gen Zero playthrough and Calamity Revengeance, I switched over from Movie Maker to I got really fucking fed up with Movie Maker. It was pissing me off, so I did some googling around for my other options and found out that DaVinci Resolve has a free edition, which is quite generous if you're just making videos like I am. You're not getting into super serious like motion picture production stuff. The free version is plenty sufficient, and it's very much better than Movie Maker. It is very nice. I mean, it has its own problems too. That editing software pisses me off to no end as well, but the functionality that it gives you is very much greater than Movie Maker. So that's what I've been using since then, is DaVinci Resolve. Free version. Oh, shut up, dryer. And it's worked quite well. So I was also learning how to use DaVinci Resolve during Gen Zero, but it's more of it being a test bed, I guess. So we got done with that. Let's see. Where were we when we got done with Generation Zero? Fuck if I know. I don't remember that far back. Let's see, it was Calamity Revengeance No Deaths co-op. Ooh, no deaths. That's so fucking cringy. Good lord. But it was a fun series anyway. You know, I really fucking like a lot of the thumbnails I came up with for the Revengeance series. Those are some pretty fucking cool thumbnails. Like the Plaguebringer Goliath thumbnail, that thing is fucking sick. It looks like some kind of action movie shit. It's cool. Pretty proud of some of those. Some pretty damn cool thumbnails. But yeah, Revengeance playthrough is also kind of a learning experience too, because I was kind of figuring out how I wanted my editing style to be with that series. Along with Gen Zero. Gen Zero was this way too, but I was really figuring out, you know, did I want to focus on bosses specifically, or do I want to try to, you know, focus more on the play itself, the gameplay overall, just clips of gameplay that are funny, or just do just the bosses. I mean, it started out with just the bosses, like, you know, the Eye of Cthulhu video in the Revengeance playthrough was just like a 3-minute, yeah, it's literally sub 3-minute video of us just beating up the Eye of Cthulhu on Revengeance. And then immediately after that, I tried out something a bit more general gameplay oriented, where I knocked out Crabulon, Desert Scourge, and King Slime all in one video, and kind of played around with, clips and stuff in between the boss fights. And it just kind of evolved from there into, I think, what my current editing style is. Which is not to say it won't change again, because I'm not even sure that I'm happy with my editing style as it is right now, but I've, found something I'm more comfortable with. Which is kind of like a focus on, at least near the end of the Revengeance playthrough, it was more like focus on one boss per video and just include a lot of gameplay around it to fluff up the video and, just have some fun. Because there's a lot of fun gameplay stuff that happened as well, like just funny moments and things and just interesting tidbits. That's how the Revengeance series ended. We moved right along from there into the Fargo's Mod Eternity Mode co-op series, which is still ongoing. And this series has been a lot more just gameplay overall focused. I'm not focusing on a single boss per video, but if I'm going multiple episodes between bosses, I will try to jump through a lot, just so we can get back to something, pivotal in the story, I guess. So I don't mind having entire episodes in between bosses now of just gameplay, which I think is cool. I think it's a good way to do things. So we'll actually have gameplay episodes, and then we'll have a boss episode or something like that, Or we'll have multiple boss episodes of the same boss if it's a really hard boss. But I don't want to have like more than a couple of the same boss, because I don't want the same boss to get old, of course. So, it's variable. It's a very flexible editing style, I think. And I'm not sure if it's, the way it's going to stay forever, but it is the way I'm comfortable doing things right now. I also went away from unique thumbnails for every video and just, started recycling the same template thumbnail for every video because with my new job, I had a lot less free time, I suppose. So I didn't want to go through the effort of a fancy, unique thumbnail for every video anymore. I'd rather just keep it going in a way that won't burn me out than go through all that effort for every individual video, since I'm, producing a video every fucking few days. I don't want to burn myself out of it, so you gotta balance the level of quality versus, burnout. Which I'm not burnt out. I've gone this long and I'm not burnt out, so that's good. I've found something that I enjoy doing, and that grows, grows the audience, and that's good. So I'm going to keep doing this, for sure. We'll certainly continue doing this. Terraria being the game that started my traction. Of course, the XOMX video was Terraria. Terraria has always been, this entire year of work, Terraria has been the game that carries my views. Easily, by far. It gets far more views than anything else I've done. So, but I'm not a super avid Terraria player. I play the game, and I enjoy playing the game, but I've never played it this regularly, this long at a time. I'm not that big on the game. Verinox, on the other hand, he loves the game. It's his favorite game, I think. Verinox is huge on Terraria. So he has no complaints with playing it all the time, but... it's not my favorite game. It's a good game, but it's not my favorite. But it's getting me views, so I'm going to keep playing it. In fact, after the Eternity Mode playthrough, we were planning on jumping right back in again with Vanilla 1.4. Whatever version it happens to be when we're done, finally. And I'm not getting burnt out of Terraria because we're not playing it that frequently. We're playing it often enough to keep my video content flowing. But we're not playing it that frequently, so we're good. We're doing okay. But someday, I might want to branch out of Terraria exclusively, and do other things. I'm always doing another game on the side. Whether it was Generation Zero or Monster Hunter, I'm always got another game going on the side. I've got 2 playthroughs running simultaneously at all times that I jump between. So Terraria is a constant because it draws views, but it's not the only thing I'm doing, so that it doesn't get too old. So I bounce between a Terraria video and something else, every video, so that Terraria never, wears itself completely out for me. I try to keep a healthy relationship with the hand that feeds me, as it were. So, Terraria is going to keep being my mainstay, at least for now, since it's the only thing that gets me views. But I'm also going to continue producing, another game on the side at all times. Because that's, what I have to do to keep it interesting for myself. Music production hasn't been noticeable on this channel since forever ago. I don't think I've really posted music for the most part since I've actually been doing gaming. Really, I don't know if I've actually posted... No, I have posted at least one music video this year, in this year that I've been working. So it's not like I haven't posted anything, but it's been very fucking few and far between. And I don't like that. I've got music projects that I've been working on all year. I've got multiple. And I've got a couple that have been very near completion. But I just haven't, finished them off. It's just been, I don't know, an interest thing. So, music is super inconsistent and I can't rely on it. But it's something I want to keep doing, so... you just keep your eyes peeled. You might see me post some musics, whenever I actually finally fucking get around to finishing something. It'll just appear whenever it's ready. So I guess, yeah, that's where we're at. 1 year of consistent work on a project on YouTube. This is what it looks like, guys. Some people, it varies dramatically for different people, and what they're working on and what kind of content they make. But this being the content that I make, and this being the thing that I work on, this is what 1 year looks like of consistent dedication. 176 subscribers, still going up, and it is, by God, it's going to keep going up, and I'm going to keep working on this, and someday we're going to be, big enough for me to do this for a living. That's, by God, it's going to happen. I refuse to say no. That takes the rest of my 20s, or maybe it happens tomorrow and I get lucky, the big break. But I do hope it happens sooner than later, because I want to be young enough to still enjoy it. Because I'm 24 now, and if you gotta think 170-something subscribers in 1 year, it keeps up at that rate. I'm gonna be in my 30s, and I'm not gonna even have, more than a few thousand, but hopefully it'll pick up at some point, and then it'll take off, and I'll be able to do what I love and be happy and be young and still, at least for a while, and be able to enjoy my life the way I want to. That ain't today, but we're getting there. By God, we're getting there. So thank you for everyone who's been with me for this journey so far, this 1 year. Stay tuned, because it's going to keep on going. This train is not slowing down. And someday, if I can pick this shit up and make it my living, it's going to speed up from there. Thank you very much for Verinox for being with me for this entire year, and continuing to be the dude that makes videos with me. I really could not probably be as interesting as I maintain myself to be if I didn't have Verinox there to bounce off of in videos. He's definitely a massive help to me. I just would not be as interesting by myself. Having a friend there to bounce off of is a massive help. And thank you very much for the 176 people that have subscribed, and all of the people that have, all the 13,000 plus people that have ever watched any of my videos. Most of them are not going to see this video. Most of them, watch the XMX video. They'll never see me again. But those of you that do, thank you very much for your continued support. This is going to be a good thing, and I'm going to keep it going. We're going to make a living at this someday. This video was sponsored by my craving for attention and my determination to chew ass and kick bubblegum. I have a Bandcamp. You can go check out you can support me by going to my Bandcamp and buying my music there if you want to monetarily support me. I also have a SoundCloud. Haven't really been on either of those very much lately because I haven't posted music lately, but some of my music's also on streaming services like Spotify and stuff and iTunes and whatnot, so you can find some of it there if you want to stream that way. And I also have a metal.tv, which is where I post gaming clips sometimes whenever I feel like it. It's usually funny stuff. Alright, I've been talking for about an hour. Not an hour, about half an hour. I'll cut this down and make it into a video. But yeah, that's 1 year. Cheers to the next one. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Peace.